Hello and welcome to Car Chats with Leeor, because until I move into my new apartment in March, we have nowhere to record. But that's okay, because the scenery doesn't matter, it's the content. The content matters. And anyways, I feel most alive in the car, if you can't tell. Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Leeor Alexandra. Welcome to the Baby Elephant community. On this channel, we talk about the law of attraction, spirituality, self-development, and so much more. And today, I actually want to talk to you guys about dating. If you like, a little bit of a reminder to a lot of us, because I have been dating for probably since I was 13, right? So 14 years now. I've had a lot of experience with dating, and only in the past couple of years would I say that I've started to understand how to do it right. And you know, I've always been the kind of person, I've always been the girl in my friend group, in any friend group honestly, that everyone would come to me for dating advice. Everyone would come to me for how to answer guys. Guys come to me for how to answer girls, what to do, what not to do, all this stuff. I don't know why, but I've somehow been appointed as the dating guru, which I don't know if I should take that as a compliment or an insult. Anyways, when you add in my advice on manifesting love, that clout that I've received over giving dating advice only expanded. And one of the last videos that I posted on the channel was actually about how I broke my cheater cycle. And a lot of the comments were asking for more love advice, more dating advice, and things like that. And I would love to offer that if that's something that you guys are interested in. So today I want to talk about why dating might not be going so well for you. Perhaps you date a lot and it never really goes anywhere, or maybe your dates are just not fulfilling, or maybe you date and then you get into a relationship and it's nothing like you expected, and the relationship ends up being, you know, this battle of being really attached to this person but also knowing that they're not right for you. Whatever it is, there are certain things that we can implement in the beginning of dating somebody that could really enhance our dating life, enhance our lives in general, and make things a lot more simple and comfortable and less dramatic, honestly, a lot less dramatic. You can weed out people that might not be right for you and that might just be wasting your time, maybe detours along the way, by implementing some of these things. Now, I want you to understand that this is all coming from love. This is all coming from a place of, I've been there, I've experienced all this, I've done all of this, whatever you like to think about that. I am speaking from experience, and I'm speaking from a place of, I know what not to do now. Now, there are always exceptions. I like to think of myself as the exception to every rule. So you might be that way as well. You might be the exception. And I have one friend in mind. They did all these things that make dating not so good, and they ended up with the love of their lives, and 5 years down the road they're still together. However, that is the exception, and they are very aware that they are the exception. So don't be offended. You might be the exception, and that's okay too. This is just kind of a guideline for how we could make dating a lot easier on us and a lot more fulfilling, really. I believe that every person in our lives is a teacher, and even if you're going on a date with somebody that you met on a dating app, on Tinder or J-Swipe or whatever, Hinge, whatever's out there these days. I've never actually been on a dating app, so I don't really know. Whatever's out there these days, even if you met this person just, you know, for one date, there's something that you could learn not only about them, not only about people in general, but about yourself as well through that interaction. So I think that every person that we meet is divine and interesting, and that there's something to be gained from speaking to them. That's why I think that kind of mentality is really helpful, to see all humanity as divine, and to see that there is no difference between the janitor and the CEO. You know, there's that cliche quote, but it's true. I truly see the divinity and the importance of every single being, and I would never place higher importance on one person over the next. Everybody's super important. So even if you have a bad date, or even if you have a bad few dates and a bad experience, you have to understand that you're having this experience for a reason, and that there's always something to be learned about yourself through that interaction. Now, without any further ado, let's get into I have 5 reasons why dating isn't going so well for you. I have a new notebook where I write down all my video ideas. Let's start with number 1. You're projecting your desires and ideals onto the person. So you might be doing this while you're texting, leading up to the date. You might be doing this on the date. You might be doing this weeks into the relationship. Are you projecting what you want this person to be? Are you projecting your desires onto this person, your ideals on this person? And on the other end of the spectrum, are you projecting your own insecurities onto this person? It's very important to realize whether somebody actually exhibits certain qualities or whether you are imagining that they are, whether you really want them to. And this is really easy to do, especially in the beginning when feelings are heightened and, there's passion and excitement. It's really easy to lose the concept of who this person really is. And the next few points are going to help you to understand how to not project and how to not idealize and to not put your insecurities onto this person, because a lot of people do that too. A lot of people think, they didn't text me back 3 days later, it means that I'm not good enough, and they project that onto that person, and they see this person in a way that that person doesn't really exist. Remember that whenever our ego is in, whenever our fear is speaking, and whenever our ego colors our world, we don't actually see things clearly. We see things as our ego perceives them, and our ego has this survival instinctual mechanism, and it's afraid of everything. So if you're afraid, if you're feeling fear, that's probably not coming from a genuine place. Remember that intuition is soft, it's supportive, it whispers, it makes you feel calm, it makes you have a knowing of something. You don't fear, So stop projecting your desires and ideals onto people. In that sense, you will also not be putting them on such a pedestal, because you're seeing them for who they are. And when we put people on a pedestal, that's when they run away from us, because they're like, oh, I'm too good for you according to your beliefs, according to your perspective. I'm too good for you. Let me just disappear then. Number 2, not being authentic, or you're putting on a front maybe. Let's just start with the valuable information of energy never lies. No matter who we are pretending to be, no matter who we'd like other people to see us as, our energy doesn't lie. And if our authentic vibration isn't corresponding with that front that we're putting on to try to impress somebody or try to win somebody over, there's going to be that fraudulent vibration. And human beings perceptualize, we feel things, even though we might not consciously be putting something on it. The other person will feel like, oh, something's not right. Something's off. And fraudulent energy, fraudulent vibration could come off as insecurity. It could come off as being a people pleaser. It could come off as being desperate. So the other side of this issue is that you're not allowing that person access to who you really are. And who you really are is so magnificent and so perfect. And there are so many people out there who would love you for who you are, no matter what your flaws or faults are. No matter what your wins, your redeeming qualities are, somebody will love you for exactly who you are. And if you're putting on a front, if you're showing up as somebody who you're not being fair to that person because you're not being your authentic self. And you're not being fair to yourself because you're not allowing somebody to truly love you for who you are. You're not being you. And when you're not you, that's going to be exhausting. You can't keep that up forever. And there's always going to be dissonance because that energy isn't matching the front. So being yourself is really important. This corresponds to number 1. The third is not listening to who the person tells you that they are. This is a huge lesson. This was a really big lesson for me when I was in that really terrible relationship. On the first date, he told me exactly who he was. He told me, I'm a degenerate. I gamble, I drink, I do this, I do that. And in my head, I'm just like, he's so funny. He's so cute and so funny. We don't listen to people. People tell you exactly who they are and we don't listen. We have rose-colored glasses on. And when we do that, then we find ourselves 4 years later like, what have I done to myself? How have I done myself this much of a disservice? Don't do yourself that disservice. Listen to who people tell you that they are. Listen. Everyone tells you who they are. And remember, like number 2, energy doesn't lie. If you feel that dissonance, if you feel like a person is putting up a front and that their energy doesn't match the face, recognize that that's a red flag and this person isn't revealing to you who they really are. And you have something to be wary of. This is a red flag. And if they don't drop that mask, if they don't drop that dissonant energy, it means that they're too afraid to show you who they really are. And you have something to worry about because they might not be the person that they think that you would like. Number 4, this one is going to be contentious because I want everybody to understand that this has nothing to do with slut shaming. This has nothing to do with keeping somebody guessing, remaining pure. This has nothing to do with keeping the mystery or whatever it is. This has everything to do with self-care and self-love. Number 4 is you might be sleeping with them too soon or mixing sexual energy too soon, which would mean anything from a crazy makeout session to whatever it is that you can come up with, right? The truth is, if it's the beginning of the relationship, very early on, or the first few dates in, or the first date even, you don't know this person. You don't know what kind of traumas they have. You don't know what their authentic vibration is, what their energy is. When we have sex with anybody, we are mixing our energies. We are taking on beliefs from the other person. We are taking on personality traits, habits. We are taking on their traumas. If you don't know who you are mixing sexual energy with, if you don't know them, you don't know what you're putting into your body. You don't know what you're putting into your energy, into your vibration. Like I said, energy doesn't lie. We transfer all these things through sexual contact, and we create deep bonds with anybody that we sleep with, anybody that we share sexual energy with. We create these bonds with them, and we take on a lot of their stuff. And of course, this stuff can be removed, but it takes action to remove it. And if you don't remove it, you're carrying it around with you. And you are doing yourself, again, a disservice if you're not getting to know the person that you're going to exchange this energy with before doing so. Now, I understand that, people want to have fun. They want to take agency over their sexuality. And of course, you should do that. But you have to understand that energy exists, and you can't come here to a law of attraction channel and say energy exists, energy is everything, but I'm going to have this one night stand with a person that I don't know and sleep with this person on the first date because it's fun and it's just for fun. You can't have it over here but not have it over there. You have to understand that energy really is everything, and that you are taking on these people's stuff. The whole respect thing, whether a guy will respect you or whether a girl will respect you, whatever it is, if you sleep with them, I don't care about that. I care about how you're going to feel about yourself. I care about what you're going to carry and what work you're going to have to do to undo what you may not have been prepared for. So practice that self-care and have that self-respect and get to know a person before becoming intimate with them. Then you could really feel good about your choice. Feel really confident that this is a person whose energy I'm a fan of and I want to exchange sexual energy. This is one that I really struggled with, and I broke this cycle with Aaron, thankfully, after ayahuasca and everything. One of my things that I wanted to do is not drink as much. You guys know that I used to have a problem kind of with alcohol. I used to drink a lot, used to black out and stuff. So drinking too much or getting drunk on a date, a lot of us use alcohol as a crutch on a first date. So what happens is we rely on it to allow us to feel more comfortable with this strange person. But this is a false sense of comfort. You're not actually being your real self, and you're not letting this other person be your real self. And the memories that you're creating are tainted by that alcohol. Is it fun? Absolutely. It's a great time. However, the bond, the emotional connection that you will create on sober dates, on the first few dates at least, or the first handful of dates, whatever, the connection that you can create if you don't drink and if your partner doesn't drink, and if you do drink, just don't get drunk, don't even get tipsy, maybe have one drink, that bond is much different. And I can say this because Aaron doesn't drink. So on our first few dates, I never drank. And the bond that we created, there's nothing like it. We're not together anymore, but our relationship was the best relationship I've ever been in. And I knew him on the deepest level, and I still do. He's my best friend. I still know him on the deepest level. And one of the reasons why is because alcohol didn't forge our connection. So there wasn't that false bond, if that makes sense. Later on, once you know this person and you're really close to them and you've decided like, yeah, I can see all the warning signs, because understand that while you're drinking, you also can identify 1, 2, 3, and then number 4, you might make the wrong decision and end up sleeping with them or even kissing them, whatever it is that you don't want to do on the first date. You might do that because the alcohol inhibits that. So all of these go hand in hand. So what should you do? You should be yourself. You should listen to what the other person is saying. Don't project, reflect, okay? Don't put them on a pedestal. rather than putting them on a pedestal. See if this person is your equal. Because what you want to do is you want to be with your equal. You want your partner. And lastly, keep your energy clear. Don't mix energy until you're ready to be intimate with this person. It's not about purity. It's about self-care. It's about making sure that you're not carrying things that are not yours. That you're only going to take on that person's energy once you realize that you care about them and you want to carry that energy. Also understand that intimacy creates those energetic bonds, and you are linked to that person deeply. And you can say that it's just for fun, that you don't care, but you've created an energetic connection there. And for a lot of us, that keeps us super attached. So that's it for me today on dating. If you'd like more videos like this, please let me know. If it was too normal, I could always go esoteric dating. Easy. You know, I'm a woman.
The cat! There's a cat in my front yard. Hello, kitty.
I'm a woman that wears many hats. I do. I love you guys. Until my next video, keep your vibration way, way, way up. Bye. I love you.